Hello, hello. Let me put my hoodie on so I look cool, even though I also have headphones on. I am also rocking a lavender colored cropped and very holy um sweatshirt slash hoodie. Well, I guess it's a hoodie sweater, hooded sweatshirt. Um and it says obsessed on it. And yeah, my cat is just about to take a nap and meditate on the spiritual realm of things. I have some ambiguous multicolored wallpaper to one of my sides. It'll be mirrored for you. Um, so I won't say directions. And then on that same side, there is a pink light making my whole room pink. And then there's a little tiny, tiny golden award. But it's hidden so far back. I won't ruin the surprise for you and tell you what the award says. But if anyone ever wants to know, I'll let you know. For now, it's ambiguous. And then the like lamp that has this pink light on it, it's like a horse's head, but where like a unicorn's horn would be, there's where you put the light bulb in. And so it's almost like a unicorn lamp. And it's like kind of, a little janky, like it's kind of falling apart. It's kind of loose, definitely some TLC, which I don't really DIY enough to care for, and it works just fine. One of my neighbors down the hall was giving it away. Anyway, it's super cool. Um, yeah. So I'm SirCoach. Welcome to my channel. And yeah, if you want to like and subscribe and comment if you enjoy this content, that would be great. Yeah, my main objective to come on here tonight was for um some channeled messaging. I'm feeling like the headphones and the hoodie were all just like way too much. I have like one headphone on now. Um, but yeah, I wanted to bring up like this idea of like, lost in translation, right? Like there's so many things that have been translated, and it's like, did we interpret that correctly? Is that the right interpretation, or was someone's bias involved here? Or did we just misinterpret or take things too literally? And especially when thinking about like scriptures, like religious texts, those have been converted into so many different languages, so many different power regimes, and geopolitical wars were involved. Like, what do we really know is even like the truth of those stories, even if they are rooted in hyperbole and metaphor to an extent. Um, so much has been lost. But something that has struck me recently ish. It struck me a while ago, but then I didn't do anything really about it. And so now I'm here to say something about it because it keeps coming up. This idea of like humans are like, oh, well, you only live once. It's like, technically not true. I mean, like this life in particular, yes, unless you get like resuscitated, which can happen. Yes, like this version of you with this avatar, these experiences, this childhood trauma, like whatever it is, like yes, that you only once. You're only gonna do it once ish, right? And that's so, but it's not just well, you only live once because well, you only live this life once. because our souls are technically immortal, and then, when we die, we're like, okay, cool, maybe I'll take a break, or maybe I'm ready to jump right back on in. What do I want to work on? What do I want to do this time with my life? Like, Earth's so great, it's a long, long line to get in, but, some people, it's like, oh, yeah, it's just like so worth the wait, you know? Um, or sometimes, they just chill, just chill and like the lazy river of space, I imagine. Or they go visit other planets and go for, mingle to some friends they haven't seen in a while. Maybe it's been like light times, light years since they've seen some of their friends. So, this concept of mortality for humans, like it doesn't exist. Like humans are basically vampires without fangs. Like we have tailbones and no tails. Then we're technically immortal. We don't have fangs. Like my cat has fangs. And what I mean by say immortal is like we are not the flesh, right? We are the soul that embodies the flesh this time around. But your soul, most of us, our souls are much, 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 much older than the physical time we have been on space on Earth this time around. Sure, there's some baby souls out there, just sprouting, maybe. Um, but for the most part, like a lot of people like have done this before. A lot of us have done this before. We're just this is just our avatar, right? For this time around. This is our avatar, okay? And we did have a choice in it, so just saying. Um, but like Fountain of Youth, or I wish I could be immortal. I wish I could live forever. I wish I could be a kid forever. Like, technically, like, you can. Technically, like, being a child at heart is being a kid forever. And it's not just like being a kid. It's like literally like if being a kid is like no adult responsibilities, you can literally take that off your plate and get another adult in your life to do those things. Um, you can find a way to like do like hobbies, play in the dirt, play in the mud, get really dirty, finger paint. Like you can do so many things you did as a child, like if you genuinely want to. And you can also combine it with like, well, what about like if your adult self was hanging out with your childhood self? Then like what would they end up doing? Well, how maybe they get ice cream or like go to the park, have a picnic, and do something cool. Um, but yeah, this idea of living forever. Like, one, do you really want to live on planet Earth forever? Yikes. Like I get when I see elders, I'm like, I don't know how you put up with it. I don't know how you like my grandma is in the late 80s, like almost 90. I'm like, I really don't know how you did it because I would not have been able to. I would not be able to do this. No, no, no. Like literally just like witnessing 100 years when you only got 100 years to live. Do, do. Time ticks by for a moment. Do, do, do. Oh, not to say, what is that song called? It's like an early 2000 songs. 100 Years by Five for Fighting. I'm 15 for a moment, caught in between 10 and 20, and I'm just dreaming, counting the ways to where you are. So it's like a love song, so it's about another person, quote unquote. Um, which is just code for it being about God, but shh, don't tell anybody that. Um, but It's really beautiful song. Now I gotta save it and listen to that later. Um, but what's great about Earth is that it feels like there's like this more mortality to the physical body, like, and but every second it's dying. Like you're dying every day, right? Because you're slowly working your way towards death, whether that because it's fated, like whether that's so no matter what age you die or how you die, it's fated, right? And it's fleeting. That's why. Right, we should treat every day like YOLO because this virtual reality, we're only able to do once. Like thinking about like if you're proud of yourself for how far you've come because you started from literally nothing, less than nothing, like our self-made person, you know, girl boss, emperor, empress, like whoever you are, and if you've been able to really do things, even if it's not like you're the most famous person ever, or you're maybe still like scraping by paycheck to paycheck, or even less so than that, like, if there's things you can be proud for, like think about like those things, like that's like the experience of like living life, right? Doing school and extracurriculars and hobbies and making friends and making frenemies and all of this stuff. It just felt like a lot of spirits joined me for a second there. Like, okay, hi everybody. Um, But I guess it's something that I actually need to hear too, which is I hate when this no, I hate when this happens, but it's funny when it happens. I end up saying things that I need to hear. So that's good now that I'm conscious of it. Because yes, like I am proud of like my CV. I wanted to do experimental avant-garde art in a local way and also get paid for it. And, I was able to manage like actually surviving and being like professionally working artist, even if I had to still rely on state government provided services. Um, but like the or even crowdfunding, mutual aid that has helped me a lot. But yeah, the importance of remembering the presence is all we have. And as someone who deals with a lot of anxiety, it's easy to think about the future. It's easy to dread the future. It's also with the like ADHD and all the neurospicy, it's easy to procrastinate into the future. But also if it's like, I generally don't want to do this right now, and I have perfectly good enough reason, and I don't need to over validate myself at all because I did these other things today or recently, or my muscles are cramping. So I'm not going to do that one chore today. Um, I'll do it the next time when I'm feeling better. It's important to advocate for ourselves, and it's important to be proud of ourselves and remember how far we've come. And like these are really sweet moments, right? Of like why it's like cute to be human, and it's like really humble to be on earth. So it's like, oh, I'm technically immortal, but because the line is so long to get down here, when I do get to do it, it's like, oh, what a rush, what a what a I can feel I feel the rush. Um and it's, a really yeah, it's like one of those rides, like roller coasters, or not even just a roller coaster, but it's a family experience, right? This is something, no matter how tall you are, you can get on, which is wild, right? Like the wild ride of life. And it's the whole thing, it's like a customized amusement park ride. Um, Also customized video game, customized virtual reality, customized soundtrack. Hello. Y'all playing like where my clear audience at and tell me because like I didn't really thought about that. The fact that we all have our personal soundtrack, customized soundtrack. We are our own DJ and we're our own DJ. Like we're creating the soundtrack of our lives. Like how powerful is that? Even when we discover new music and have that be open an opportunity for us. That's super cool. Anyway, so what I'm here to really talk about, why I'm talking about mortality, is because I want to talk about morality. Ooh, you can watch The Good Place for more details. I'm really not going to go into it, so I'm not an expert in it. But basically, when we're judging people and we're saying, "Oh no, but this is the good side. This is the good side of history to be on. This is the wrong side of history to be on. These are the good guys. These are the bad guys. This is pure evil. This is pure good." And we're literally trying to escape binaries, and yet we keep putting them and asserting them everywhere. The problem with this is that like the binary of like moralic issues, ethical issues is a facade, right? Because there are gray areas and there's moderation on every side, every angle. And things really are like a case by case basis with so many people. And then there's also things like bias. There's so many ways where things in like the justice system don't work out the way they're quote unquote supposed to be, because juries just don't understand legal documents because they didn't go to law school. So while they're deciding someone's fate, I don't know why that's even a thing. Honestly, it should be a bunch of lawyers, if anything, people with who passed the LSATs in the jury. But even then you might have like a biased judge, or so you might have a crappy lawyer if you're a defendant, you know. It's so much. So that's like in the justice system. And of course, there's incarcerated people who don't deserve to be locked up for what they've done, especially for how long. Like the punishment never fits the crime. And I'd love to talk about that because of my personal experiences being grounded most of my teen years, golden years, being grounded, not allowed to go anywhere, do anything, but listen to music. And so that saved me for sure. Um, you know, it's really easy to be like, well, I stand by the victim. I stand by the person who was hurt. Or I was the hurt one. Like who's gonna come for me and tell me I'm a liar? Like I was the hurt one. Like those things happen and are real. And it's important to have empathy there. But if the other side does not also get empathy, understanding, a moment to say, whoa, I didn't realize I did that, or I know I was wrong, or maybe it takes them some time to rehabilitate. But to not give anyone a second chance ever, no matter what they have done, but then to hold them accountable for things that may be so small in the grand scheme of everything of life itself. And even then, like there's so much, like if we dig really deep and we see a changing character, we should be able to forgive. Or even if it's a slip of words, we should be able to forgive. Right. And at least not judge and think, oh, this is all malicious intent. Oh, malicious intent, malicious intent. This person intended to hurt my feelings and hurt me, and I don't like them anymore. Who's with me? Everybody join in and hate on this person now. Boo. And that's cancel culture. Right. And then that escalates, and then we become policing ourselves. We're all like, yeah, like screw the police, but we literally are the police. We're policing our friends, our peers, our neighbors all the time, policing our community members, telling them, oh no, you're not like good enough, politically or correct enough to be here. And something that I do that some people don't know is that I am like a very chaotic neutral person. I have a lot of Libra placements, but the most important one in my tropical chart is my Mercury is in Libra. And then on my Vedic sidereal astro chart, my Mercury is in Gemini, and Gemini rules Mercury. So it's like the perfect. My mom was a Gemini and was in Gemini sun, and she used to take speech and debate. So it's really funny to me that I'm like very speech and debatey, but I'm like, no, I'll listen to all sides, two sides, three sides, even better, more sides the merrier. Come on, let's hear everybody's opinion, because for me, it's like, it's always yes, and there are multiple truths, there are multiple sides to the story. And then you have to think about like, then people who do horrible things have people who love them. They have children, they are children, someone's child. They have family members, they have friends, they have chosen family, they may be chronically ill. Everybody has the stuff that they're going through. And, there's no way for us to judge folks based just on what we hear or just based on one incident or anything, and then trying to say, oh, well, this is the, like, almost making other people feel bad, like there's only one outcome a situation, quote unquote, should be, because there's supposedly a good side and a bad side, and you're bad or different for trying to rally for what's considered the bad side, the evil side, the oppressor, the colonizer, um, the predator, um, the bully, um, but also like, just like how the criminal defense attorneys that are like, well, someone's got to do it. That's also something where it's like, well, people deserve a chance, and sometimes they are is completely innocent. They have nothing to do with it. Sometimes it's just complicated, and it is a thing of like the ethics, the morals, but our justice system doesn't allow for that. Our social system doesn't allow for that. For the, oh, well, I stole all this food from Whole Foods because I'm broke, I don't have any money, because I'm mentally ill, I don't know how to responsibly spend my money, but I also don't have enough money for all my basic living needs. So that's why I spend money a little bit more unevenly as well. And so I was really hungry, and I'm diabetic, and so I saw all this food from Whole Foods. Um, like people can try to take pity on me, or can try to say, oh, well, consider in consideration that, you're poor and you're hungry and you have diabetes, like, this food is on the house. Like, no way are they ever doing that, right? But like, that's something that could happen, right? Or they can say, well, a thief is a thief. We're taking this food and we're booking you right now. So then you're going to prison. Um, or in jail, maybe getting a fine, because just Whole Foods. I don't know how much food I'd be able to steal if I got caught. But all that to say, there are so many things. Obviously, there are also, with morals and ethics, morals versus ethics, there are a lot of other situations that are more dramatic that I won't go into here, because I'm not trying to bring the mood down, but I'm just trying to say that like this has gotten us like so much in our air our energy. We're overthinking, and then we're thinking about the wrong things, and our heart is in the wrong place. And people who need love the most are the underdogs, are the forgotten, are the misunderstood, are the ones who have been neglected, and the ones who needed the rehabilitation, did the rehabilitation, did their time, like we need to really like think about like who we're trying to focus on, um and who really needs that TLC, a tender loving care, because it's like constantly rewarding the good kid that's always good. It's like instead of like really paying attention to the troubled kid in the corner who could do amazing and is very talented, they just need someone to prove to them that they believe in them. Like that's what it's all about. I'm sure there are a bunch of movies. They're not coming to mind, but there's a bunch of movies that are like that. Um, so you can look into that if you want. I'm gonna pull some cards, some tarot cards and some oracle and archetype cards and see if any other energy wants to come through. But yeah, you're living forever, like, so it's it's kind of a waste of time to be arguing about morals and ethics. Um, there are certain things that are like, okay, maybe we can all agree this is messed up, this is horrible, but then like forgiving people, judging people, that's got to change. And it has to change in a radical way for folks we wouldn't usually, right, forgive. Wow, I've got Four of Wands, which in this card is the Mamma Mia. Here we go again. Card. This Meryl Streep tarot deck. Oh, another one. The Sun. So this is great energy so far. The Four of Wands, especially when using um the Mamma Mia card, and it's like the whole band of friends, sisters are together on stage singing. And so this is kind of like the equivalent of like the Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the collaboration and creativity community cards. Also thinking about like two or more people, like putting in their wands, putting in their, sticks of magic and being like their talent and being like, yeah, making this happen. So it's a very community heavy card. It's also saying, like you're not alone in the fight of life. Then we have the Sun, which is also from Mamma Mia. I think Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is the sequel to Mamma Mia. I don't think I ever saw the sequel, but that's funny that I got two Mamma Mia cards because it's hilarious. Because then we're talking about ABBA, which is an anagram like God, and well, God is dog backwards, but like Anna, Bob, Dad, Mom. So ABBA, it's the same forwards and backwards. And yeah, I have gotten like premonitions that little messages and things that ABBA is definitely a channel source for spirit. We have the Lover's card. Bridges of Madison County. Kid you not, Lover's card. And the way this is just coming out after the Sun, and then we have the Sun in between the couple on this card. Like I'm not, I haven't seen this movie, so it sucks is I can't speak on the relationship between the people. Like in my music tarot deck, it's John Lennon and Yoko Ono. So then I'm like, yeah, this is not great. Watch out for this. This is a cautious card. But here, this is like genuine, especially with Four of Wands and the Sun. This is genuine prosperity, success, happiness, love, freedom, community. Like this is wow, this is really powerful and beautiful. See if any other cards want to come out of this deck. Right, this is like it's almost showing me like enlightenment. And it's like you and your enlightened friends all go out like dancing or going for a night for karaoke, like all sober or on like or California sober or something, just like chilling, doing your own thing. Yeah, it sounds really great. Man, it sounds fun. I want to do this with some enlightened friends. We don't all live in the same place, but that might change. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. I'm getting a little lost in my cards. Here we go. Three of Pentacles, Three of Coins, a prairie home companion. Right, so we have the Johnson sisters and a little all-time radio with the Three of Coins. So of course there's right nostalgia there, Three of Coins. Three of Coins is actually like on the come up, on the up and up. I know this because I read it a few days ago for another deck. I wrote that I read it and it's like, oh, another one wants to come out. Five of Cups. Five of Cups. So just maybe I'll do I don't know how much more wants to come out of this deck. This is the only tarot I was gonna be using, so we have Five of Swords. Okay. Really stand your ground. You know, it's hard to feel like meh, feeling lack, like man, I only got two full cups. You have two cups and they're full. Okay, like maybe you've had enough to drink. Oh my God, speaking of the cups, and then we have so after Five of Swords, so we're really having a journey, and then it's like the Three of Pentacles always is like, okay, but then don't forget where you came from. You came from this feeling of lack. You came from this feeling of having to pull yourself together, you know, this feeling of lack with the Five of Cups. You're, you know, having to fight for yourself, the Five of Swords, having to overcome self-doubt, that overthinking. And I immediately got Two of Cups and that's wild because here it's a divine union. And we even have literally two people. This is from the movie Falling in Love. Of course, that's what the movie is called. I haven't seen it. It's Meryl's a little younger in it. And they're like holding each other, caressing each other so softly and gently. And I mean, that's wow. So there's like some love energy there, right? With the lovers. To me, that's like getting the lovers after sun is like love of the self, love of God. Then Two of Cups, especially coming after Five of Cups, makes me think that this is if one is God, then the other one is like yourself, like your own union, your own divine masculine and divine feminine coming together. Um, and or it could be um one is like God and or self-love and the other one is like an external soulmate, divine counterpart relationship. The next card I got was Judgment, just from A Cry in the Dark, where we have a young Meryl Streep who is pregnant, holding her belly, and at each fork or the four corners, fingers are being pointed at her, and which is, really sad, getting that judgment. And so, knowing that, I think for here though, the journey is so beautiful, right? Like, I think there is. I mean, I could also read it. Um, the other way, right? Like we're starting from judgment. We're starting from like this is like the legacy started from like dang. For me, this is hitting home personally. It's like it started from when you were in the womb or however you were conceived. It's starting from there. And then Two of Cups is like you in spirit, being like so happy that you're alive, even though maybe the parent who carried you was ridiculed and mistreated and ostracized and outcasted. Maybe there's a lot of love in that home. That could also be that Two of Cups energy. That Two of Cups energy could be with a parent, you and your parent watching your parents um growing up. It could be you in spirit, is also what I'm getting, for some people to take what resonates. And then we have the Five of Swords, really having to keep your guard up and having to know when to fight. The feeling of like, will anything ever satisfy me? What's the point of this whole rigmarole? Ricky in the lake. Then we have Three of Pentacles on the coming up, on the up and up. So it's like, okay, a little bit more than one pentacle, more than two pentacles. Like we're really doing this thing and abundance is on its way. It's only a matter of time. It is now fated and destined. And then we get this really sharp, beautiful shift into the Lovers, this open pasture, or one has come to confess their love. We have the sun shining bright in the background. And we also did pull the sun from Mia, where Meryl Streep's character is standing right in front of the ocean, and the sun is behind her, shining bright. And there's sunbeams in this one. Beyond that, it's like even as bright as possible. And it's like, wow. And then, of course, we Mamma Mia, here we go again. And then it's kind of like a journey of life and journey to enlightenment. Um, so that's what I felt this was. And I felt connected to this. So maybe this is a soul tribe reading. Mamma Mia, here we go again. Four of Wands. That reminds me of like Power Rangers, Powerpuff energy. It's like, Teen Titans, everybody put your wands in and let's get it. Let's do it. It is partnership energy, collaboration, but also knowing that community has you, that you're not alone, whether your community is a spiritual community, online friends, peer support groups, you know, if you do online content, anyone you engage with that, friends in real life, like it could be, you could have pen pals, could be anyone, could also just be your spirit guides even, and anyone you consider, a part of your tribe, your circle. Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And all the swords laying by the coffee outside her bathtub, but she in the bathtub full soaking. She's not even drinking the coffee, the tea anymore. She's just like, you know what? I can't even be bothered. I can't even be bothered. Like in the back of my mind, it's there, but I can't be bothered. And I think that's That's something to remember, that even during the stressful times, to do that self-care practice, because you will be strong in the unfazed way, because you will come away unscathed, right? Whether it feels like maybe you're someone who feels canceled, or like you get canceled a lot. Um, shout out to people who get canceled a lot. Maybe this one's for you. The misunderstood, the underdogs. Like some of y'all light workers and didn't even know it. Y'all on a mission to raise the consciousness of on Earth. I don't take both these cards. All right, from this deck, this Oracle, Shaman Oracle deck, I have the Wall, Obstacles. Card 56 adds up to 11. It's kind of like a cave with an eye hole in it. But also, and the 11 also reduces down to a 2, but there's also master number 11. So that's the Wall and Obstacles. Then we have Overflow, Overwhelm, and Plenty. And this is card 43, which adds to 7, which is a mystic spiritual number. And it's giving me abundance. It is giving me that like 3 of cups, 3 of coins, 3 of pentacles energy, which we did get 3 of pentacles. So definitely seeing like you've had to overcome obstacles, which you know this. But then there's abundance. And if we don't have it now, like it's in the future. And like the future doesn't have to be a month or a week from now. It can really be like a few years from now, even a year from now. Like time flies so fast. Like if I said, you're gonna be rich within 5 years, like could you wait? Could you wait? Unmarked Trail, Revelation, card 57, that adds to I think 12. I reduces to 3. That's a think hard on that one. And this is like mossy stones being balanced. Unmarked trail, thinking about going someplace you haven't gone before. And that's what it's gonna take with that 5 of Swords energy as well. And the 3 of Pentacles, it's like you'll get on the up and up, you strive for more, so you'll achieve more and you'll see the progress coming in, but you have to put in the works and times, and you have to really set your sights on that being what you want. First breath, beginner's mind, card 21. This is to 3. 3 Empress energy, which makes sense. Beginner's mind, thinking about if you were a baby just born, how open would you be? You'd be 2 of Cups open to being in love with everything and everyone you see, everyone you meet. You're like, I'm in love with you, I'm in love with everything. Everything is awesome. Like that's the energy, having a beginner's mind, being a learner of life, of Earth School, learning everywhere you go, learning from everyone you meet, teaching, if it's warranted, if it's granted, if your services are called upon. Like these moments can be so small and yet so beautiful and impactful in our lives. Eye of the Needle, intentionality. Part 17, reducing to 8, infinity. And when I turn this to the side, we have this is 90 degrees. I turned it to the side. And then we have a very clear eye, turn it to the other side, 90 degrees. We have this eyeball looking through a needle, like to thread, to hand sew something. And it's like a real eyeball is in there. So it's creepy. Just showing and describing that card for folks who are interested. Let's see, get any more cards in here. Great. Let's see. We have gathering around, the power of community. So community is going to help you through this. Card 26, 8, infinity, infinite possibilities. Power of community is infinity. So we know this. We know this because Mamma Mia, here we go again. Here we go again. Community, fulfilling our GoFundMe. Wow, community showing up when we ask for crowdfunding. We feel so bad for asking, and yet, did they deliver or what? They deliver. Dine in and take out, but they also deliver. Okay, couple more cards fill out than I wanted to. This is an archetype deck. Not sure how many cards I'll pull from here, but I at least want to get a who. Like one card for who you are. I'm sure there are many ways we can each be described as well. Not saying that we can't be described in different ways. First card to get is Apocalypsis, which is basically the apocalypse. Wow. Um, beautiful. I'm gonna pull another one. The ring. Okay, so showing these cards like this card looks like tiger's head, but then an eyes in the center. Um, 74. I think this card's number. Almost looks like there's tiger's eye. Like a color of tiger's eye is like around the four corners, like some kind of ancestral wisdom and protection. And then the ring is card number, I have to do Roman numeral math in my head, 57. The ring also has an eye in it, and then the bands of the ring, the band is like made of like spirals, which are reminiscent, some of like rubber or steel and some of like snake skin. So there's like this Medusa quality. Okay, so this is like place and a what? I'm hoping for a who. We have the shadow. This is like a diagonal being come together by two L's, like two halves of other squares coming together to make what can look like a square, a rhombus, a diamond, depending on how you look at it. The shadow is like gray and darker gray. Let's see, one more. The warrior. Here we go. The warrior, which is like a buffalo head skull with the snake coming through and around the nostrils and the horns. We have a butterfly. No, a rainbow, multicolored rainbow over the head between the horns. This is card number 10. X marks the spot. The warrior. So instantly, it's like it's giving wounded warrior. We all know this. The ring, it's like the special key you were handed in childhood or at birth. Before that, you weren't even aware you had this. And then we have shadow work. finding your inner child hidden in your shadows. And then we have what feels like the end of the world, and maybe it literally is Judgment Day coming about and shaking things up. But you are the warrior. Like, this is you, right? Don't forget it. Right, so if that's you, and then you're getting 2 of Cups, you're getting Lovers, you're getting 4 of Wands, you're getting 3 of Pentacles, you know, you're getting a beginner's mind, um, you're getting revelations, you're getting signs that show that you are going and you're ready for new adventures, new horizons. You're ready for maybe a slightly different experience in the Matrix, but one that is still very much aligned and what your soul purpose is. But hopefully more satisfying. I could use some of that satisfaction. Would love it if things were more chill, easier. Thank you all so much for letting me do this reading for you. If you liked this video, please comment, share, like, and subscribe. And check out my other collective readings, because there may be a message in there for you. All the readings are timeless, so whenever you stop by the video, it is time for you to hear this message. All right, everyone. Have a great one. Peace and light.